So, both Doublade as well as Aegislash got buffed this season, so why not try those two together? We're going to have a team here with Altaria in the lead, Doublade as our face-up, and Aegislash as our closer, which hopefully going to allow us here today to win some interesting battles, as I do think it's actually a very interesting team. I think it's a cool team to run. You're going to have, of course, a very similar weakness with the backline that you're going to have here because they have the same type. But with Doublade, you're going to have fast pressure with a lot of charge moves that can do a lot of damage against a lot of Pokemon you don't want to face, especially like those dark and normal type Pokemon that you don't want to face usually as a ghost type. You're going to be able to hit now with a Sacred Sword, as well as you're going to be able to fast charge with the fast move of Shadow Claw. And then you have as coverage move here, of course, the move of Gyro Ball. And then we got in the back here the Aegislash as our closer. And this Pokemon is going to be able to hit insanely hard with the charge moves, especially as now Shadow Ball is also only 50 energy. You have two moves here that are only going to be 50 energy to go to. That means if you get up to 100 energy in the shield form, which is quite easy because this Pokemon is so bulky, you're going to be able to hit incredibly hard with two very hard-hitting moves back to back. And there's nothing really that can stop you as well, because you have, after this form change, an insane attack stat, which, as you can see as well, can just one-shot everything. Here's the thing as well, though. I have a really bad Aegislash. The Doublade that I actually have here built right now is going to be eventually most likely my Aegislash, because it has some solid stats there, and especially in, I think, a bit of an investment more into the HP side, which is more important for the Aegislash, because you have already really great defense, but the HP isn't really as great. So I actually really like the IV spec that I have on my Doublade, but yeah, this is going to be for a future video when I have enough XL Candy to build this Pokemon, which is going to take still quite a while. But I do think it's going to be worth it. I do think it's going to be worth it to have an XL Aegislash, because I do think this Pokemon has a lot of potential in the GO Battle League. The thing is, why it's kind of misunderstood is mainly that, yeah, basically what you have here with this Pokemon is, yeah, a very slow Pokemon, generally speaking. With a few weaknesses, of course, but like if you have the bulk of the XL on this, you are going to have such a different experience to this Pokemon. There's so much more to play with this thing compared to what I have right now. I have like even a really tech-invested Aegislash, but it's going to be so much better if you have a little bit of bulk on it. Here we're going to have the Sableye in the back. That's going to be a bit awkward for us, but as you're going to see, there's going to be the Gyro Ball getting the shield from them. I can still use my Altaria to get a shield, hopefully, as well. I will utilize a shield here against the Power Gem of the opponent, and I can now go for my Sky Attack. If this gets the shield from the opponent here as well, I will actually do something funny. And they gonna go for the shield. I will let this move go. I will just, yeah, let them go for the foul play. That's actually funny because they didn't even go for the KO move here. They didn't go for the Power Gem, expecting me to actually use a shield there. But I want to try to win this battle with my Aegislash. And let's take a look here at the Shadow Ball. And of course, you know already, this is easily going to be enough to knock them out. Aegislash is so unique in what it can do. I think it's a really cool Pokemon. I could see again that there's going to be a buff in the future for this Pokemon, but we have to see on when this is going to happen. Because, yeah, it's currently still not as great, but actually it's really highly ranked. I think it's like rank 12 for the GO Battle League. The issue is just you need to have the, yeah, XL version of this Pokemon. For example, XL version has a 2,764 overall bulk, which, if you don't know, that's very bulk. It's kind of similar to like what Bastion has as bulk. If you have, for example, my one right now, you are kind of dropping around 200 of your stats. And that is quite a bit of an impact. So like, yeah, most I would be able to take 10% less damage from each hit that you're going to have with the current, like with the better one that I have here. And this can of course impact a lot of battles. It can definitely impact a lot of battles. 10% less damage is quite significant. So yeah, I would really recommend you to definitely build yourself a really good one, because it's going to be worth it. And then of course the Blade form is going to have insane attack. Like the Blade form has attack higher than I think Katana, which is kind of mad. So like this Pokemon is going to be actually really solid in so many different kind of ways, and so much fun to play. And like you have a bulky Pokemon that can just generate energy, and then you can swap the form to be insanely attack weighted. And of course you have the option to either go for the shield in order to get back into a shield form, or you go for the swap to get back into a shield form. And this kind of, it's honestly such a cool Pokemon to run. I hope that this is going to have more success in the future as well. Here we will see yet another Shadow Ball going to land though, and this is going to be fine because the Gorgeist is going to go down. Nothing that we have to worry about here. Bye Gorgeist, and in comes the Corviknight, and they underestimate my energy generation, because this, by the way, changes as soon as you're in the other form. You generate 6 energy per fast move, per Psycho Cut, in the shield form, and you generate 9 energy per Psycho Cut in the attack form, which is kind of interesting. So yeah, you're going to be better off generating energy while you're in the attack form, but of course you're way more frail, so like any kind of move is going to knock you out in that kind of form. This is kind of the trick for this Pokemon. It's going to be kind of interesting to see on how people are going to adapt for this Pokemon also in the future. I do think that though XL Aegislash has a lot of potential for the future in Pokemon Go. It would be definitely a Pokemon I would be looking into trying to build yourself as well. I think it's going to be worth it. Anyway, we're going to have here the Talonflame. We are going to be able to go for a charge move here as well. Skytech is going to knock them out, and let's see what's coming in next. It's going to be their own Altaria, and I make a bit of a mistake here. I was really hoping they would shield this move up. I really need a shield here, but as you see, we are not going to get the shield, and with that, we are now in a really tough spot, because basically, the opponent has Flamethrower here, which is super effective, and they are now in a position where they should be able to just get even another Flamethrower off, and with also not our, like with our missing bulk, for example, we would get even 2-shot, which usually wouldn't be the case here. But generally speaking, we're just not in a perfect position. They could have Shadow Ball here as well, by the way. They do have Shadow Ball, and with that, we're going to lose this battle. We made a video about Lucario as well, but Lucario actually got buffed like twice this season. I didn't run Shadow Ball, I was running Media Mesh. You have Force Bomb, you have Aura Sphere, you have Media Mesh, you have Shadow Ball. You have like basically the best charge boost in the game on Lucario, which is kind of funny. But definitely a Pokemon that's worth checking out. As we will see here though, there's going to be the Mana Bus going for the Shadow Ball, that's fine. We gotta try our best to go for our own moves here as well. There is going to be the Shadow Ball coming through from the opponent, and of course, we are kind of forced to be like stuck in this matchup here in the beginning. We kind of have to play it out because our backline is so weak to Mana Bus. Yeah, this is like the type of Pokemon that you kind of really don't want to face with the backline. And so I'm actually at a point where I have to kind of use a shield here in order to keep alignment. I try to do my best to farm them all the way down, and I wasn't successful. And this can of course change the game already, because I'm now 2 shields down, which is really not an idea. I have 2 charge moves stored here, and I have now a Scissor against the Doublade. But what I have to do is kind of get both shields on the opponent. First Ice Slash is not going to be enough to knock us out. I hope they're not going to try to farm me down, but they're very likely just going to do that, and then I'm in a position they have no chance of winning. Exactly. There might be one off still. No, okay, they actually have the charge move already. They're going to do some super effective damage now against our Aegislash. And with this, we are going to be forced to even take another hit. This is the only way of winning. And I actually still think I have a chance of winning, because I have so much damage potential with the Aegislash. I am going to go for the wrong move here. I should have went for Shadow Ball no matter what, but it doesn't matter because I got knocked them out anyway if they're going to let this move go. Gyro Ball is going to come through, and in comes here the Gastrodon, which is of course not really ideal for us. We're not going to be able to win this battle now anymore. Our Aegislash is going to be too low, and I would have needed to kind of get the shield from the opponent early in order to have a chance here. But I should have kept basically the energy on the Aegislash, to be fair. That was a bit of a silly play. Alright. Lickilicky. It's okay. It's not okay, actually. Like, Lickilicky is actually a really tough Pokemon for this team to deal with, because you have a Rollout and Body Slam, or like even Shadow Ball damage for the lead, and then you have Shadow Ball just generally for the backline, which does massive damage. It's super effective. It's very much difficult to deal with this thing. And so, yeah, we're going to see here as well, we are going to be able to go for another charge move, get them kind of hopefully a little bit lower with that. But in comes the Torterra, and based on how they play this one out here right now, I am already assuming basically that they are very likely currently in a position where they're going to have Stone Edge. And they do have Stone Edge. They're going to go for the Stone Edge, and this is going to be quite awkward, as now we're going to be forced to go ahead and go for the Sky Attack still, though. We actually got the KO, which is kind of funny. We had 1 HP, but we still got the KO. They could have shielded and farmed me down, but they didn't want to. And we have now at least the damage coming out from our Doublade. I made a mistake here. I should have actually went into my other Pokemon, into my Aegislash first to take the hit, and then just utilized more of the energy onto my Doublade. This was definitely a mistake. It would have maybe changed. No, it would have not changed anything. We just honestly had a hard wall backline for us here as well. Like, we had nothing that we can redo here. This is the hardest hitting move that I can go for, of course. It's the Blade Form, Stab, Gyro Ball, but still not going to be enough to knock out this Grafty. Funnily enough, I still actually get to another move in time to knock them out, but now I would need to still get to another move against the Lickilicky, and I know that they're going to get to the Body Slam after just 3 fast moves, and I needed literally 1 extra turn in order to get to my move. I would have been able to win if I got 1 extra turn somewhere, but I couldn't, and so yeah, it's going to be a good game. Let's move on to the next opponent. where we will face a Feraligatr. Feraligatr is going to be an interesting one here for sure. We're going to use a shield against the opponent, and Ice Beam is coming through, where we can now try to go for the Sky Attack spam. Sky Attack is coming in here. This is going to allow us to get some nice damage in against the opponent and get the shield from them. We can go for another Sky Attack. That's perfect. And we can hopefully now also get another shield. Actually, that's kind of nice. So like we kind of are in our right position. I swap out into my Doublade trying to catch an Ice Beam, but the opponent goes for still an Ice Beam for whatever reason. They didn't really need to do that. In comes Giratina. That's a Pokemon I can deal with. Giratina is a Pokemon that won actually now 2 regional tournaments from the same player, which is kind of funny. Shadow Giratina still has some potential right now, but I'm not sure how good it's going to be this season. It actually has some potential though with Shadow Claw, Dragon Claw, as well as the Ancient Power. I guess Ancient Power has great coverage right now. But here, with Dragon Breath, we're just going to be able to farm down. In comes Feraligatr. Could have maybe tried to go for the full farm down, but I'd rather go for the KO here. And now we have a shield advantage Doublade, and even gets, like, it didn't even need to be a Hypno. It is everything else I would have won as well. So, good game to the opponent, and we can move on to the next one. We're going to have Primeape against us. Primeape is going to be an interesting Pokemon. Primeape is going to be a Pokemon that we are going to try to deal with here. The Rage is coming through, and we have the Sky Attack up against our Walrein that caught the move. That's kind of unfortunate, but it's okay. We have those all saves up here. Our Doublade, we're going to be guaranteed basically to align ourselves. I have no idea why I did this. This is not the ideal play. Should have got my energy wave. Okay, they shield anyway. I sure got my energy. Like, there was no point of going straight from a move. This could be an Earthquake. It's very likely not. It's Icicle Spear. I should overfarm by a bit more as well. This is just the Icicle Spear, so I'm okay now. And I can overfarm here by quite a bit. They just got to the move. In comes Primeape. I have to shield here now because I kind of want to get the damage onto them, and so I'm okay with this. Raichu is coming in. I still should be even able to outspeed them in theory, but I could even swap out and keep my energy on my Doublade for later on. Or I go for the full farm down here, actually. This works out even better. And let's see what they have in the back. They're going to have in the back here. Let's find out. The Charizard. And I'm in a bad spot now because I don't have shields left. The opponent is going to be able to take the hit. And I swap out into my Pokemon. This is such a big mistake. If I just didn't do this, I would have won this battle, I think. If I didn't just swap out into my Pokemon, I would have been able to win this. But like this, it's going to be so much more difficult. Because what we will have here is now... yeah, the Walrein against us, we're going to be able to go for some fast move damage with our Aegislash, getting 3 fast moves in. But we have to still get to a charge move here, and they have Blast Burn here. And Blast Burn is going to do a lot of damage. Fun fact though, if I had the better IV variant of Aegislash, I'm fairly certain I would have still won this battle at this point. Because Air Cutter usually wouldn't do any damage, and I would have had like 10% more health basically there as well. So yeah, this would have been... definitely a bit cooler there as well, but I don't know, like, it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny because it looked like so bad for us, but we actually still had a decent chance there, just because of Aegislash bulk not being able to get one-shot by a Stab, Shadow, Blast Burn from a Charizard is quite ridiculous. But as you see as well, we're going to be able to go for the Sacred Sword against the opponent's Corviknight. This is going to get the shield, and we're going to try to go for the full farm now, but they're going to still reach another move in time. And I'd rather shield my Doublade here, to be fair, because both of my other Pokemon are, by the way, the bulkier ones here. So shielding up the Doublade is going to give you the most a lot of times. And we got the Gyro Ball off, but now we have to force ourselves into the Altaria. In comes the Cradily. It's going to be a bit of an awkward matchup. My only hope here is actually to put the opponent's Cradily into farm down potential for our Aegislash, and then hopefully get the energy up in order to deal with the Dusknoir. This is the only way of me thinking of us winning this battle here. But as you see here, the Sky Attack is coming in. We are going to be able to go for some more Dragon Breath damage. I can stop out here into the Doublade. They're going to knock me out now, which is fine. But I'll just go try to get energy with my Aegislash. I'm not sure if this was the right play. Of course not. They got sub out straight away, and this is going to be it. If I had more bulk here again as well, I do think like 2 Shadow Punches would have not been enough damage if I had more bulk. Absolutely not. I would have still won the battle there as well. But actually, they go for the Dynamic Punch for no reason at all. The resisted hit and stuff, a super effective hit, and this, of course, wins us the battle now. But if I had better IVs again on the Aegislash, I would have won this battle straight away as well. And this is kind of showcasing you. I think Aegislash is super underrated. I just think that a lot of people just don't have a good version of this Pokemon yet, because the XL Kidney is so not accessible. And this is something that can kind of change in the future as well. We're going to know that we're going to have it on raids very soon again. We're going to have a deck for the Go Tour, basically. It's going to be interesting. It's absolutely going to be interesting. As you can now see here as well, the Ninetales going to be up against our Aegislash, and again, they don't do any damage. Like, they really don't do any damage. They can just use this as an opportunity to get a ton of energy for whatever wants to come in afterwards. As we have now 2 Gyro Balls basically stored. The opponent stops onto Annihilate, show one to the other move here, show one for the Shadow Ball. Doesn't really matter. Let's see. The Blade Form is going to be active now. And it's just one-shots them anyway. It doesn't really matter. Like, it really just doesn't matter on what you go for with the Aegislash. It's okay, we just one-shot 2 Pokemon straight away. In comes Blastoise, and that is going to be it. Like, that is going to be it. There's nothing the opponent can do here anymore. Aegislash is just it's just so strong. It's just ridiculous. Honestly, what the hell did this Pokemon just do here? This is going to be it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to leave a like, and I will see you then. Bye-bye.